What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Itsumi, and today I want to talk to you guys about the power of silence. This coming from my League of Legends climb, as I've been playing and going from Bronze 4 to Bronze 1. We're Bronze 1, we're almost Silver. It's not that big of a deal. Okay, we're still learning, we're still getting the hang of things, but we're climbing. I have noticed that there are individuals who share their opinion, their very candid opinion, openly and honestly, I would suppose, in the chat. And some choice words are used to express opinions in League of Legends, of course. I mean, everybody's familiar with it. You've more than likely had your share or participated in such exchange of ideas, we can say. And fair, right? It is a game that if mistakes are made, the opponent gets stronger, the team gets weaker. People can be very judgmental because they want to win. Everybody wants to win. And so tensions can get pretty tough. Pretty intense, I should say. At least I've noticed it in my games. And as jungler, I often get a very targeted and direct exchange of ideas in my direction. You know, I'm not perfect. I try my best to do what I think is valuable to the state of the game. I'm also learning and trying, to hit all the buckets, get the ganks in, get the farms in, get the objectives. You have some good games, you have some bad games. But then you are faced with criticism, right? You are faced with the opinions of your allies and even your opponents that, let's be honest, they hit, right? They hit when you see them, when I read them. It has an impact on me. And so I wanted to talk about it because I believe that the power of silence is likely going to be the tool that I will use going forward to make sure that I can focus on what matters to me. As I wasn't, on Twitch, the chat is running and they can see, people who watch me on Twitch can see what the teammates that I'm playing with are saying. And a friend of mine, Stormblessed, regular viewer of the channel, basically put it very simply, right? Do you want to argue with other adults on the internet, or do you want to win? And I sat back and I thought about it, and it's like, he's right? I'm not here to debate with other adults and try to change their opinion, especially nowadays. People will believe what they want to believe and what they feel is best to believe. There goes Percy. And I'm not going to be able to change that, especially not in the middle of a League of Legends match, where I'll have to start typing back to whatever they've said to me. And the issue with that is that it takes energy, focus, and emphasis away from the next best action that I could be taking, which would help me increase my agency and help me get better at the game, right? The moment I try and engage with whomever is directing their opinions at me or their accurate criticisms or whatever, I will lose energy, I will lose impulse or momentum towards my objective of winning the game, right? I want to win the game. And so in order for me to win the game, I really have to be mindful of where it is that I'm going to be directing my attention. And if I wanted to debate other people, I'd go to the debate class, right? Or I'd talk to individuals on the internet in reference to opinions that they have and go back and forth, right? But I'm not looking to do that. I'm looking to play League of Legends. And because I'm looking to play League of Legends, there's a certain set of objectives and measures that I have to be focused on, that I can't be distracted by trying to type in response. Like, I've had it where I've tried to type a response and then I hit F, right? And by hitting F, I use my summoner spell, and next thing you know, I'm flashing. And I've just compromised myself for the next 5 minutes because I was lending my attention to something that wasn't aligned with my primary objective, which is to win. And there's a couple of quotes, of course, with Stoic understandings that I think apply, where, for example, Epictetus, right? He says, if someone succeeds in provoking you, realize that your mind is complicit in the provocation. I have to allow for whatever it is that is happening outside of me to have an impact inside of me, because I control my mind, right? Like, my mind is mine to control. I can't control whatever happens outside of my mind, but I can control how I react to the things that are happening outside of me. So when an ally decides to colorfully exchange their opinion with me, a stopped clock can be right twice a day. There are criticisms that are levied in my direction that are accurate. There are times when I miss my smite on the Baron, or I miss my smite on the Dragon, right? And there could be something within their exchanging of ideas that I can pull that's valuable, even though it's coming at me in a way that's intense, to say the least, right? Like, I can extract from there some value that I can add to my own playstyle and my own ability going forward that I think is important, right? And this is because I'm trying to balance, right? Like, ideally, I could interact with every single human on League of Legends and not get emotionally involved, which is a very difficult thing to do. That's why it would be ideal, but it's not realistic. There's going to be moments where someone is just going to go and cross that line, and you or I can use that mute button. Now, I don't want to use the mute button because I want to receive pings from them. I want to understand their perspective on the game because I could technically draw information from that, which is helpful to me. But there are times when they're over pinging or they're oversharing, and it's actually more of a distraction when it comes to focus and commitment, that I will mute them. Just straight up mute it, right? And that's a tool that I have that I can use. But the ideal state of the game is to be in this like Zen mode where everything's happening and you are calm and confident in your objectives and your goals, because that's the primary focus that you have, right? So even when I'm being criticized unfairly, or essentially whenever I find myself up against a scenario that is out of my control, the best actions that I can take is to not say anything and actively play in silence. Now, I can still communicate through pings, right? Pings are important because I don't have to actually type for that. But by using silence as my response to those kinds of interactions, it's a disarming mechanism that gives me the advantage of being able to stay fully committed to the next best thing that I could be doing in the game, instead of tilting and starting my own debate club inside the Rift, which no, I don't want to do that, right? It's not interesting to me because it's a never-ending battle that I'm never going to win. I will not change anyone else's opinion, and not through words. Maybe, though, if somebody says that I suck at the beginning of the game and my farm is good, my objectives are good, and we win, whatever they said is no longer relevant because we won the game. My actions spoke in defense of me. My actions held me up, right? I didn't even have to say anything. And I'm really thinking deeply about what kinds of actions can I be taking that give me that 1% advantage, give me just a little bit more of a W push, right? As opposed to giving in to those very normal, very human instincts, which is to defend your honor, to defend yourself when someone's coming at you, right? Because it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good at all. But it feels even better, in my opinion, to know deep down that whatever the individual says is irrelevant, because you, or me in this case, I have a specific set of goals and metrics that I want to focus on regardless of what happens outside of the game or in the game that's outside of my control. And I will hit these buckets no matter what, right? That feels empowering because I cannot be derailed. I cannot be distracted. And again, I'm not perfect. There are moments where I'm a human, I'm flesh and bones, I'll type back, but not as often as I used to. And I'm not as bothered as I used to get, or if I am as bothered, I'm able to bounce back from that immediately because I'm thinking and immediately rebounding my mind to where I believe I should be. That's in that state of mind, chasing the W, chasing the improvement. So the power of silence, I think, can go beyond League of Legends, of course, right? Whenever you are encountered in a scenario where you're being unfairly criticized, or you have people around you that are perhaps boasting, and perhaps you have people around you that are saying more than necessary, you can simply sit there and acknowledge, listen to what they're saying, have them reveal their hand to you, right? I'm a big Magic the Gathering player. Thought sees them, see what it is that they have to say, and then you can play according to what has been laid out on the board, right? And that improves understanding. It helps you see things. It helps me see things from a perspective that, like, yeah, of course the top laner is upset that I haven't gone to gank his lane because he's 0-3. And, you know, most challenger junglers will tell you not to play with the losing lane, but most people don't know this, right? And so to the player that's getting clapped by top lane and they don't receive any help from their jungler, of course they're going to be mad. Of course they're going to say you suck. But they don't realize that on the other side of that spectrum, you've been farming and you're at like an 8 CS per minute or 7 CS per minute. You've been getting objectives, and your team and bot side, which is the strong side, is like pushing forward and getting towers and moving, and the game's actually going in a great direction. They're pigeonholing, you know, into one little tiny part of that game because they're getting wrecked, while you're continuing to move the momentum of the game forward. And they don't see that. If they saw that, they wouldn't be so upset, and we can't talk to them because there's no calm. So there's a lot of understanding that goes along with it, and I just wanted to share that because I find that it's a mantra and an approach that has really given me increased peace of mind when in the Rift, because it doesn't matter what anybody says. The only thing that matters is, am I hitting the buckets? Am I improving every game? Am I getting the objectives? Is that what I'm doing? Yes? Great. No? Then why didn't I do that? What could I have done better? What summoners did I use when I didn't need to? What fights did I take that I didn't need to? You know, how could I have played this better? And when that spotlight is on me instead of whatever my teammates are saying, whatever my opponents are saying, none of that matters. It's way more in my control and my agency, because I can change me. I can't change anyone else. It's impossible. Hopefully this resonates with some of you, and if you like what you're hearing, you'll probably enjoy watching my climb, because you will see moments where the armor cracks and I do rage a little bit because, again, I'm human, but it's fun, man. It's all good fun. We've been having a great time. We stream every day, 10 p.m. Central, to the best of my ability, because I do have a little daughter that sometimes goes to sleep a little later than anticipated, or we have tech issues. Like, we've been dealing with some pretty heavy tech issues lately, but hopefully we have all those resolved. But nonetheless, it's your boy Itsumi Seppi. Catch me live on twitch.tv/Itsumi Seppi, kind of like Mario. Itsumi Mario, but Itsumi Seppi. It's a pleasure to entertain and to be here and to climb in League of Legends. I hope to see you at a stream. Hit that follow button, hit the subscribe button. You know you want to. I appreciate y'all, and I hope you have a great day. And remember, just stay quiet, right? And you gotta say nothing. In Spanish, we have calladito te ves más bonito. So